Hello, dear students. It's me, Damayanti Soda, Assistant Professor, Kanodia Mahila Mahavidyalaya, your marketing management teacher. Today, we will discuss about the product. As we had already discussed product life cycle and product differentiation, but it's very important to know what actually the product is. When we say product, it can be termed as the most tangible expression of the offering of a marketing endeavor. Product also represent the ways and means through which the marketing company seeks to satisfy consumer needs and wants. Actually, the ultimate destination of each product is to provide maximum customer satisfaction. So, when we say product, it is basically a set of tangible and intangible attributes, including packaging, color, price, manufacturers, and retailers' services, which the buyer may accept as offering for satisfaction of wants or needs. Here it's very important when we are saying products. Product consists of goods as well as service part. When we say good, goods is are basically the tangible part of the product, and when we say services, services are basically the intangible part of the product. The product can be either purely goods, or it can be purely services, or it can be the mix of both goods as well as services. The characteristics of a product, as we had already discussed, the first one is a good service or an idea. A product can be combination of these three things. Then bundle of benefits. Of course, the main uh, motto of product is to provide various benefits to the customer, whether in terms of consumption, whether in terms of satisfaction, whether in terms of happiness, etc. Then total products, many things. It's not like just product consists of one thing only or two thing only. Product consists of various components. That is, it include price, packaging, labeling, branding, coloring, and so many feature, shape, size. So here we can say a product include many other things also. Then a service and good go together. When we are saying product mixed with product, having goods mixed with services, that is the most effective part of a product when it is offered along with goods as well as service. Tangible and intangible attributes. Yes, a product is a set of tangible and intangible attributes. We can see, touch, as well as feel the product. Then group of utilities. Group of utilities, it provide form utility, time, place utility, ownership utility, knowledge utility, and so on. Next, elements of a product. When we saying what constituents of a product are, it consists of design. It comes into a particular shape, size, etc. A particular design. Then features. Features may include various attributes, various shapes, designs, etc. Then liability. Liability to satisfy the customer's needs, wants, demands. Warranty. Products come with an assurance of qualityness. Branding. Every product offers a brand value. Packaging. Products comes in a package, a set of packaging. Labeling. Various constituents, various trades, trademarks, logos, symbols are marked over the labeling pattern. And then the coloring. Every product appeal on the basis of some color, design, shape, features, and that's are the main elements or main attributes of a product. Next, types of products. When we are saying types of products, products are basically classified into two types: consumer products and the business or industrial products. Consumer products are basically those products which are used by ultimate consumer or households and in such form which can be used without commercial processing. And when we are saying industrial products, uh, industrial products are those products which include um, which are destined to be sold primarily for use in producing other goods or rendering services. The fundamental basis for distinguishing consumer products and industrial products is the ultimate use for which the product is intended in its present form. That is, whether it is going into the hands of the ultimate consumer or whether it is going in the hands of some industry for further manufacturing or for further business use. These two are further classified. Consumer products, when we say, first we will discuss consumer products, that is convenience goods, shopping goods, specialty goods, and unsought goods. Talking about convenience goods or convenience products, the products about which the consumer knows enough before going out to buy it are called the convenience goods. These products are purchased frequently and with minimum efforts. These goods have low price and affected least by the fashion. Examples: staples, impulse goods, emergency goods, whatever we eat, drink, these are the convenience goods. Then comes the shopping goods. When we talk about shopping goods, shopping products are products for which a consumer compare on the basis of quality, price, and styles. For example, shoes, ready-made garments, furnitures, and women's apparel. These can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. When we are talking about homogeneous, actually shopping goods are further divided into homogeneous or heterogeneous. Homogeneous products are similar in quality, whereas heterogeneous products differ in product features. Then comes the specialty products. Specialty products are those which have unique characteristics or brand identification for which a significant group of buyers are habitually willing to make a special purchasing effort. For these products, consumers have strong brand preferences, and these products include basically expensive men's ready to wear clothes. For an example, just like health foods, we do not compromise with our health foods. Luxury cars, when we are a normal family, a middle class family, do not go for the brands in cars, it just go for a normal range car. But when we talk about expensive car, Lamborghini, BMW, Audi, these are the special products, costly watches, jewelry, photographic equipments, hi-fi components, paintings, cosmetics. These are all specialty goods. Talking about the next is unsought goods. Unsought products are the products which the consumer is not aware or not willing to buy right now. Just for an example, electrical cars. Right now, we are not ready to buy it just because we don't think that much of technology and that much of conveniency associated with electrical cars is there in the market. So a marketing company actually faces lot of problems while marketing these products. Just because convincing for these products is actually difficult for the marketing company. Then comes the industrial products. Industrial products are operating supplies, accessory equipments, fabricating material, raw materials, and installations. Talking about first, operating supplies are the convenience products in the industrial field. These products assist in the operation of plants and for the functioning of industrial products. For an example, uh, when we say um, these products are actually low price, short lived items, usually frequently purchased with minimum efforts. Then the next is accessory equipments. When we talk about accessory equipments, products like office furniture, office equipments, spare parts of the plants and machines, small power tool, etc. These are the example of accessory equipments which is used to aid the production operation of an industrial user, but doesn't have a significant influence on the scale of production. Then the fabricating material. Fabricating material are those industrial products which become an actual part of the finished products after the processing or assembly, like tires used in automobiles, that is cars, bikes. Yeah, these are finished products in itself, but they make the other products also finished. Iron rods, iron sheets, tubes, batteries. Batteries are itself finished products in itself, but then they accomplished further the toys, watches, in whatever they are used out. Then the raw materials. When we say raw materials are those industrial products which are converted into finished products with the help of manufacturing process. For an example, yarn being woven into threads and cloth, flour into bread, etc. Raw materials can also be categorized as natural products or farm products. For an example, natural products like minerals, crude, petroleum, and agricultural products like cotton, fruits, animal products. Then comes the installations. Installations are expensive, long-lived, and vital equipments of an industrial users. When we say example of this installations, it can include uh, steel mills, trucks for road transportation, corporation, etc. Marketing of installation requires goods pre-sales and post-sale services. High caliber of sales force is required for the installation. Then coming to next slide, product line and product mix. Here we will understand this concept with an example. In the next slide, we have the example basically, but first moving with these terminologies, talking about product mix. First, our first terminology, it is the total sum of products in the different product lines of a marketing company. So product mix is a group of similar or consistent products marketed by a company. Or we can say the product mix is the full list of all products offered for sale by a company. Then we have further different dimensions of product mix, that is talking about our product line. When we say product line, a group of closely related products intended for similar use or similar physical characteristics. We will discuss this with an example here in the next slide. Here we have a product mix of Hindustan Unilever Limited in front of us. You can see all kinds of products over here of personal wash, that is various soaps are there. Then the laundry wash, surf detergents are there, skin care, soaps, cosmetics are there, hair care, oral care, deodorants, tea, coffee, etc. This is a product mix of Hindustan Unilever. in India. Particularly, we are talking in reference to India. So this is all. The various products offered are product mix. When we talk about product line, that is a group of closely related products of similar use. You can see here Lux, Lifebuoy, Lidl, Hamam, Breeze, Dove, Piers, Rexona. These are all our product line. That is, they are of similar use. They are all soaps used to clean our body. Then here we can see Surf Excel Rin Wheel. These are used to clean clothes. Then these are used to enhance our makeup, cosmetics. So these are the product line. Moving back, length of the products mix, the number of items in the product mix, that is what number of items, how many number of items we are getting. For an example here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 8 type of product mix is there. That is, when we are saying length of product mix, the how much this line is extending further, that is the length. Moving back, width of products mix, that is the number of product lines carried. Here when we are talking about width, these are the widths, the number of product lines. Here we have total 8 product lines. And then when we say depth of the products mix, that is number of variants offered in a product line. Number of variants offered, here we can see number of variants. Just for an example, when we are saying Lux, Lifebuoy, or we take the example of Dove, we have here Dove as in different flavors, in different fragrance, in different composition. For an example, when we talk about Vaseline, Vaseline Intensive Care Unit, a yellow packaging, a blue packaging, a cocoa butter packaging. That is, Vaseline is coming up in various variant. So this is what a depth of product mix offers. That is various fragrances, various flavors, various variety of same product. That is the depth of the product mix. So I think this is very much clear to all of you. Then, as we had discussed about the product mix of Hindustan Unilever, we must have a glance over this company. Hindustan Unilever Limited is basically a company whose parent company is Unilever Limited, and Unilever Limited is a UK based company. It's an Anglo-Dutch company whose headquarters is in London as well as Rotterdam, uh, Netherlands. So this is a company which works in the field of FMCG goods, that is fast moving consumer goods. More than 16,500 employees works over here. These we are talking in terms of direct employees. Then brand portfolio, talking about in India, Hindustan Unilever is providing at least 35 brands in different 20 categories. And then USP is it touches the life of people too much. Just for an example here, 2 out of 3 Indians every day with 75 years of industry experience, as it has been set up in the year 1933. So here we can also have a look at the HUL products in India. These are the soap category, these are the laundry category. Then the food category, Kisan, Annapurna, Knorr Soup, Modern Bread. Beauty products, Fair and Lovely, Lakme, Pond's, Vaseline, Hair Care, Sunsilk Clinic, Dove. And next I am showing is the brands owned by the HUL. You will relate these logos, trademarks with the product itself. A picture must be clear in your mind now. Talking next, characteristics. When we are saying product consists of the two terms, goods and services. But here we have a clear marking or clear differentiation between the goods and the products. You can see here pure goods products and pure service products. Here we can see fast food restaurant, computers, all these are the goods products. And here for an example we are talking about here airlines, teaching, investment advices, hospitality, hotels, these are all the service products. Clothes are coming in between. That is, although we can have the clothes in our hand as a product, but their designing, looking, a feel of happiness is the intangible part of the clothes. That is a service part. How good stitching is, that is a service part. So when we say good, goods must be are tangible. They are low customer involvement is there, as the company manufacture it and sell it to the customer. Low quality control problems, as the quality concerns are already fixed as per the standards. Easy to evaluate. We can easily evaluate whether the product is good, bad, quality wise, or whatever. Inventories, we can keep an inventory of the goods. No time criteria. There is no basically a time criteria. You know, product can be available at any sort within seconds, or it can took hours, or it can took days or months. So there is no time criteria. Low importance of contact points. There is no importance of contact points here. Manufacturer and in between the consumer and the manufacturer, there are various gaps over there. Wholesaler, retailers, and so on. Talking about service products, these are intangible. We can feel, but we cannot touch. Then high customer involvement. Yes, of course, is involved in the service part too much. He direct and instruct what kind of service he require. High quality control problem. Yes, of course, no two services or no a similar no two services can be similar. For an example, when we are going for a haircut, next time it's not necessary that we will get the same kind of haircut what we had get previously. Hard to evaluate. Yes, because there is variation in the every service, it is very difficult to evaluate. No inventory. We cannot keep the service part as an inventory as we keep the product goods. Strict time criteria. Yes, services are required to be provided in a certain time period. If we are going for, just for an example, we have a class going on right now. So we have a constraint of time, that is we need to run the class for 1 minute, for what sorry for 1 hour or 50 minutes or 20 minutes. So there is a fixed time criteria. And then high importance of contact points. Yes, actually service, because the provider is coming to in the direct contact of the user, there are higher importance of contact points. Then comes the classification of goods. When we are saying goods, we need to classify these. Tangible goods basically are the physical products, intangible goods, non-physical products or services. फास्ट मूविंग कंज्यूमर गुड्स, FMCG, HUL का हमने अभी डिस्कस किया था. Everyday convenience items like newspapers, snacks, healthcare products, bread, butter, all these are FMCG goods. Milk. Perishable goods, expires or are not reusable, just like fresh flowers, seafood, etc. Consumer durable goods last a relatively long time, can be reused. Purchased infrequently. We do not purchase these things very frequently. For an example, mobiles, etc. Specialty goods, exclusive, high-end, expensive, high proportion of people's income. Jewelry, fancy cars, uh, luxury watches, etc. come under this category. Producers good, products purchased for commercial use rather than private use, such as machinery, vehicles or land, photostats, Xerox machines, these etc. High involvement products, products that we spend lot of time on when making a purchase decision. For an example, these might be expensive items like homes, cars, etc., or which reflect our identity, like winter coat, prom dress. When we are going in a party, it will reflect our personality. So that's why we have a greater involvement in that purchasing. Have other emotional value to us, like planning a family trip, Valentine Day present, anniversary present, birthday present. And then the low involvement product, low involvement product where consumer is relatively not that much involved. So here basically the products are cheap and have no other alternatives, like road trip you need food and the rest station has one option only, so you need to eat there only. Routine purchases, like when you are going to buy cereals or breads or any these kind of things, you do not involved in that purchasing too much. You just buy whatever is in front of us. Next is service part. Goods we had discussed. Now when we talk about service, service is actually intangible part of the product. Simultaneous production and consumption over is there. As the service part is produced, simultaneously it is consumed out. Service is perishable, yes, of course. As it consumed out, it get perished. Advanced trials are not possible in the service part of the product. And then the no two services are the same, yes, of course. The very same service have the very different taste every time, very different touch every time. So this is all about our today's class. I hope you must have gone the concepts very clearly. Thank you so much.